Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Let me show you guys how I glam up my bride. I think my first bride for this 2024. If this sounds like what you are interested on, keep on watching. Please, if this is the first time you're coming across my video, please don't forget to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. You all are welcome to my channel. So I started with cleaning her face with micellar water. I make sure I clean the face very well to remove excess oil, dirty from the skin, because it's not good to do makeup on a dirty canvas. Then I use badusc to spray on her face first, just so to get the face hydrated. Then I go in with moisturizer. This is me blending the moisturizer very well, using my hand to massage it both under the eyes. This is the second moisturizer I use for the day. Don't mind the lighting. The lighting setup that day was just different thing altogether. Like, I wasn't getting myself. And you know, when you're working on a bride, you need to work with time so the bride will not go to church late. So I was just managing the whole situation. It was not funny, but thank God we were able to finish in time, because even the AC was not even working. So I make sure I moisturize under the eyes, because you know under the eyes dries off faster. So I normally take my time to go back under the eyes to make sure I have a level of hydration under the eyes. I don't know if it happens to another person, but under eyes normally dries out for me. So since I find out, I normally take my time to make sure that I hydrate under the eyes properly. Yes. So while I was waiting for her face to dry, I go ahead to moisturize her body to give it that glow, baby glow. So now I go on to lock in oils. I lock in oils except under the eyes, more especially the places that bring oil the most: the forehead, the brow area, the nose. That's where I normally put my oil control. So that is me applying primer. I equally apply primer all over the face except under eyes, because under the eyes is very delicate. Like, I don't know, but I'm very careful when it comes to under the eyes. So now I'm using primer. Using primer again to also lock in oil, because this makeup is going to last her the whole day. I think this makeup is going to last for more than 24 hours, because you know that after church they do reception. After reception they will do trad, and then after trad she will still have to wait for people to come in and welcome her, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So this is me using setting spray to lock in all the skin prep, to make sure the skin prep sits very well on her skin. So let's go. We go into the foundation. So I'm taking my time to blend the foundation. I think I use Huda Beauty and one other foundation here. I can't remember, but I'll put it on the description button. The fan is really disturbing, like very disturbing, but I'm trying to manage the whole situation anyways. So I go ahead to contour her face. This is me contouring her face. I use the same dark beauty blender I use for foundation. Like, I don't change beauty blender. I use one, but I can just change another part that I've not used before when I want to do another thing. Like, it's not the same part I use for foundation that I'm using for contouring. No. So I change another part, so the lighter shade of that foundation will not enter while I'm contouring. No, contouring is a dark shade, sorry. So I go over with blush. I think I use blush from Tehila, my favorite. Yeah. So I use the same side I used for contouring to apply my blush. Yes. I normally put my blush before I go ahead to apply concealer under the eyes. It seems very easy for me because if I just blend it, everything will just blend in like very, 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 very well. Okay, here I'm applying concealer. I apply because of the fan. If I leave it, will just dry, like it won't let me blend it again. So I'm doing it bit by bit. So I apply and then blend before I come under the eyes to apply. And this is me blending it. Okay, I'm making sure I blend very well. I think that blending part really took time, but I have to cut it. I took my time, like, to blend, make sure you have a seamless finish. So I go over to contouring her nose with the same shade I used to contour her face earlier. Yeah. So I blend very well, no harsh lines, So now I'm about to set her face, so I have to blend under her eyes again, because you know when somebody's blinking, the eyes tends to crease or has lines there, and if you don't blend it again before setting it, that line will cause that makeup to break. So I asked her to look up so I can blend it very well, then set it. And this is my bride. She's making the work easy though, in as much as we gisted from day one, like from the beginning of this makeup to the end. In fact, we don't feel like ending the makeup section because of the gist, because it's been a long time I saw her last and it's her big day. So I go over to her brows. Look at the lights, everything have changed, as if it's no longer the same face, the lightning, everything. But I don't want to give up on my recording. I was just recording it like that. So I use edge control to tame her brow down. Then I use setting powder to set it to avoid bringing oil later. Then I go ahead to outline her brows with brow gel. Yes, I outline the brows. I like outlining the brows with brow gel. Then I'll fill in with normal Davis pencil. So this is me taking my time to outline the brows. So I go ahead to make my strokes. Like, I make the beginning of the brows look so light and natural. Like, I didn't just shade it up, I make strokes. Then at the tail of the brows, I make it a bit dark, but the beginning is always natural. I don't shade in, I make strokes to make it look natural. So I'm equally doing the same thing on the other part of the brows. Making sure the brows is well stroked before I go over to concealing. So I use a concealer that is not too bright under the eyes. Yes, gone are days when under eyes concealer is too bright, then you'll be struggling to blend it in and all that. So this is white wedding. Apart from it's a white wedding, using a concealer shade that is not too bright always make that makeup to come out more beautiful and easy to blend into the skin. I use different shade though. I think I use a darker shade at the beginning of the brows, and the brow bone I use a shade that is a bit lighter than her foundation shade. Then while concealing up, I use a perfect foundation shade to conceal it up, and I didn't pack too much products while concealing any of these parts to avoid breakage. So I'm done concealing. I still go ahead to brush out excess products to make it look more natural as I wanted it to. So I go ahead to set. I go ahead to set the concealer and the foundations I use to outline the brows to avoid bringing oil later. I'm using a note powder for the inner parts of the brows, but I use a lighter shade of Milani powder to set the brow bone area. So I go over to eyeshadow. I was not even sure of the color of eyeshadow I would do to her, but then we go. So I use benign Klein White as eyeshadow base. I make sure I blend very well. I don't know the type of benign white I have though, but it's thick. So after applying and blending, I still go ahead to use another brush to blend it again to avoid it creasing or caking or making it look heavy. So I go ahead with a light shade of brown at the outer part. I think at some points my recording stopped because I've done a transition on this face before using that brown outside. So I go ahead to apply the second shade. I'm trying to make everything look natural. This one I've caked already. The second eye, so because she's opening and closing her eyes, I have to blend it again. So I keep on building up the eyeshadow. I didn't just pack once. So this is me blending everything together. Yeah, I think it's come out natural, the eyeshadow. So I'm taking my time to blend this eyeshadow very well, very well, to avoid having harsh lines or like applying different colors and you seeing where this one ended and where this one stand. No, I'm taking my time to make sure it's flawless. So after that, I go ahead with eyeliner to line her eyes. Most of the clients, you see this stage, they will not listen, they will not obey. But thank God she kept her face. Because some of them, before you know it, they have opened their eyes, and this is liquid eyeliner. They open their eyes when you did not ask them to open their eyes, and the liner will stain the eyeshadow. Hey God. But this is my client, like I said. She knows how to keep her face, and it makes the work easy for me that day. Apart from the lightening, the fan, the room temperature that were being an obstacle that day, she really made it easy. So I go ahead to line under her eyes. She doesn't tear up. Like when you see a client that doesn't tear up when you're lining them, oh God, like it gives joy. It gives internal joy. Because some people, whenever you want to outline their eyes or apply liner inside their inner eyes, oh, you'll be kabashing in your heart. You'll be praying. You'll be calling 24 elders. Before rivers of water would drop from their eyes. Oh God. But thank God she doesn't tear up. So I go ahead to use powder to dust off the excess setting powder that I applied to catch fallout from the eyeshadows and everything. Like I'm just using this powder to blend everything together. Like I said, I know this thing, I think at some points it wasn't recording or so. Okay, now the magic. I have to use setting spray at this stage to calm everything, all the powdery effect that looks is excess. Look at how calm the face is looking after that spray. Just look at how calm. The power of setting spray. So I'm using Mextimetics liquid highlighter. I've forgotten the shade though, but I think this shade is just good for all skin. That's why I bought it. So I go over to her lip, working on her lip. It's part of the best process on this makeup. Apart from I love lip process. Yes, I love lip process. But working on her lips is different thing. So I go ahead to outline her lip with a dark shade. I think I mixed two colors to outline. I'm still struggling with the cutting, the fan, the setting, the light up at this stage. So I go in with pink shade from Becharm Ageless Cosmetics. I go in with pink shade. Then I go ahead with a very light pink shade in that palette that looks like white, but it's not white because that palette doesn't have white. It's a very light shade of pink. So I asked her to smack her lip. It's the easiest way for blending. So I go ahead to blend the light shade into the dark shade I used to outline her lip earlier. Yeah, I blend into it. I use the lighter shade to blend into it properly. So I take my time to blend. You know, power of blending can never be overemphasized during makeup process. It's garbage in, garbage out. Way to give is what you get in return. So I'm applying lip gloss. Yes, I'm glossing the lip. I asked her to smack again. Oh, I forgot to brush her under lashes when I used mascara earlier, so I have to go back to do that. So now I'm applying her lashes, 4 lashes. Yeah, And this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching.